Guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. I'm joined by Phil, Matt, Journal Elizabeth. Loving Journal Elizabeth's t-shirts, by the way. The brand new merch, WrestleSlam. Loving it. Loving the background as well. So much news and info to come. Timmy, I believe, was on an absolute bender for the last 14 hours and he's not made it, to be quietly honest. Now, Timmy is touch and go, but look, Timmy, if you're watching this, hope the hangover's worth it, brother. And we will talk to you next week, hopefully. First of all, lads, we're going to touch base. Plastic bags, WWE, and a guy called Mark. Now, I know Mark through Total Divas. That's where I probably seen him from. Personally, it's been a crazy few weeks in the wrestling world, but the last couple of days have been crazy for plastic bag reasons. Phil, obviously, a story broke that these wrestlers that were released, all their belongings got sent back in a plastic bag. Good old Mark was fired. Triple H was having none of it. Obviously said, get the feck out of here. What's your take on it, Phil? Obviously, he's disrespectful to the likes of Mickey James and all these great superstars.
Yeah, it's a weird one because apparently it's come out that's been going on for 10 years.
Yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it? And like, his ex-girlfriend put up a tweet then saying that he's hiding old belts underneath his bed.
Yeah, in the guest room of one of his houses. Yeah, he's hiding old belts.
Yeah, we've all been there.
But there's also a rumour that he'll be back in about 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, he's too many skeletons that they need to bring him back.
Interesting. Elizabeth, what's your take? Obviously, look, Mickey James is a legend. Do you know what I mean? She was obviously released. And look, we know there's always going to be releases with you know, companies in trouble and stuff. But it's an absolute disgrace, isn't it, that like, all her belongings are sent back in a plastic bag?
100%. It came across as so rushed, so disrespectful. I mean, Mickey James, you know, even it just goes to show that nobody is safe from the wrath, you know, of being let go. And I think as well, it is disrespectful, and you'd already be quite upset and, like, you know, feeling quite emotional about the whole situation if you were in Mickey James and company's shoes, you know, and you'd already be feeling quite nostalgic about your experiences, trying to pick out the good times that happened, and that must have been the ultimate kick in the hole to get that in the post. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, you know, everybody, it's always done this way in every job. Not in such a high profile situation. That should have been dealt with the utmost respect, folded, you know, packaged, a nice thank you card, something to show that we really appreciate what you've done for these years, because a lot of people will take it as being symbolic. Or we were listening to something earlier that it's almost like satirical. It's what another, you know, it's what a show would make of the situation going on in WWE. You wouldn't expect it to happen itself.
Yeah.
That said, what Phil was saying there about Mark Carrano coming back. Mark Carrano's the fall guy for this. Somebody's head had to go on the block, and now we've got Big Johnny back. So, and he was apparently verbalizing that it was Mark Carrano's fault. He was the one who was at fault. Mark Carrano's with that company a very, very long time. It would take a hell of a lot more to get rid of him than just sending somebody's belongings in a trash bag, I think. So I think Phil is right. I think he's the fall guy, head on the block for 6 months, and then, you know, he'll be reinstated when all of this dies down. I just think somebody had to be thrown under the bus, and apparently historically he is the fall guy for a lot of situations. So yeah.
There's a thing I was reading this morning there that he actually wanted to be fired.
Yeah, well, it's look, there's the whole thing's after breaking out, right? Look, and there's a lot of wrestlers now, female wrestlers, speaking out about, like, apparently he was a bad influence backstage.
Gail Kim and a few others have said they've gotten the same.
Yeah, it must be something, you know. Not saying he's overstepping the mark or nothing. Like, obviously, look, he would have been gone a long time ago, but like we do see people fall, and then look, obviously people come out and talk, and you hear more stories. Like, but it does seem like more females are talking.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is strange. Joe, what's your take? Look, we seen the little meme of the gold dust, golden bag, and all that kind of stuff. Like, obviously, look, it's enough to talk about it, but it's quite disrespectful. Like, and I think it's left a sour taste in Triple H's mouth, and I believe Stephanie will always back Triple H as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a shame. After everybody got fired, you know, a week later, this is coming out. It leaves a better taste in your mouth for WWE as a fan. Like, you know, your whole life, you don't want to see shit like this happening. Like, they're supposed to be a professional company. Like, imagine if a company you work for did that to you. Like, if you had cleaned out your locker and threw your fucking rubbish bag in your front door, like, you know, you would slate that company for the rest of your life. You'd never want to see anybody working for them again. Like, I mean, how do you hope people are like, oh, that's the dream to get to WWE? Like, that's your dream, and you know, a year later, like, they fire you and throw a rubbish bag at your fucking feet.
Yeah,
It's disgrace. Again, Mark Carrano. Go ahead, Phil.
I was going to say a lot of this stops at Vince as well, like all those guys he has.
Absolutely, Mark Carrano isn't, you know, innocent, but he's not completely guilty either. Like, he's the hitman for the mafia in this situation. Like, there's people above him making the decisions. Like, he just has to take it out his way. Like, you know, I just think it's a disgrace.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a big story that Vince wants new blood in management and all this kind of thing the other day?
But they had the conference call saying that the management team is the best it's ever been, and then they're wiping out the management team a day later. Like, it's just like, what are you talking about? And
they rehired the other guy as well, John, the talent relations guy. They actually brought him back.
Well, the referee, John Cohen, like, he was talent relations, and they put him back as a referee.
No, he's a ref, yeah.
Matt, what's your take, brother? Look, obviously disrespectful.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. I know we're living in a time where WWE is not the only wrestling company that wrestlers will go to get noticed. But I remember, you know, once upon a time, WWE was the place to go to if you're an independent wrestler and you know, you're working your ass off to get to this company. But you kind of get to this company and you've just been seeing that all this disrespectful, you know, releases of, you know, that they're just straight up saying, all right, you're gone, have a good one. Like, personally, I was annoyed with the releases, but I could understand, you know, companies have to make hard choices. But if that's the way they're going to treat, you know, the employees or the releases, I don't know what WWE is doing at this stage. Like, I'm not going to blame Triple H, not going to blame Steph. And, you know, we can't say who is planning this whole disrespectful time in WWE at the moment. I do feel like Mark is a fall guy in this one. I think he is there for a reason. So I agree with all of you. It's like they have a fall guy with them, and of course, but I know it just left a bit of taste in my mouth when I saw that. So I don't know what WWE is like at times. Like with Joe said, you know, getting WWE is the dream, and then when he found out that they would do just shitey things like this, you know, it would ruin the dream.
But
so
the worst thing is Mickey James is there nearly 20 years.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, you know what I mean? That's a long time, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2005, he's there since, I think.
Yeah, long time.
On and off, like on and off.
Yeah, long time. I don't know. It's crazy. Staying with WWE, lads. Obviously, look, we always catch up on our Raw and SmackDown. Seems like SmackDown stole the show again this week. We've seen a lot more of Cesaro, obviously looking like that main fixture, main event kind of guy. Reigns just looking incredible as always. Obviously, we've seen a nice match between Owens and Apollo Crews. What's your take on this whole Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns angle, guys? And obviously, look, Cesaro's kind of just on the edge. But do you think Cesaro is on the brink of something big?
Money in the bank.
Yes.
Money in the bank.
Yeah, I think Money in the Bank would be great for him. I like that Daniel Bryan is, because of the mixed reaction to his input into the main event in Night 2 of Mania, I like that. I think he's kind of gaining back a little bit of, you know, I'm still Daniel Bryan, you all still love me, by putting Cesaro over so much, you know, storyline or not, because everybody was still a little bit miffed. And like, we all know I wasn't the biggest fan of the triple threat, but where Daniel Bryan goes from here, we were chatting about this earlier. Jerry takes the piss out of me for saying this, so I was like, I'm going to make sure I say it in every fucking week now going forward. So just to rub it a bit low. So, you know, this is it. So we were chatting about this morning, and we were saying that, like, definitely for Daniel Bryan, like, he has to surely go to NXT. You know, he has to be on the way there. He's not going to travel. They have said in their conference call that the second half of 2021, they are hoping to get back to touring. They're not going to half-ass it. They said a vigorous touring schedule, so they are going full-time back into it. I can't see him traveling on a full-time schedule, or not with two smallies at home. I don't think he will. So yeah, I'll be interested to see. I'd love to see Cesaro win Money in the Bank and push him to the moon. I'm worried that it's going to get a little bit screwed up because we're starting to tease that Jey Uso is doing all of Roman's dirty work. So there was a big push on that with Daniel Bryan, Cesaro's promo, and SmackDown's one kind of think we're kind of starting that, but I'm like, please don't shit all over Cesaro now by, adding too many storylines into the soup and just making a pot of shit, really. So yeah.
I like that theory. I think it's a good theory. Phil, do you reckon we can see Daniel Bryan in NXT?
He could go there for a few months, but I genuinely think he's leaving this year.
Do you reckon it'll be before Mania or after Mania? Could it like the Raw after Mania job?
September this year, his contract's up. I reckon he'll be in New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom against Okada.
You think so?
Yeah. I think we could watch Jericho done years ago.
But given the fact he's got so much respect within the company, and obviously he seems to be a man that can kind of do what he wants. Like Vince obviously knows, look, he's just kind of a family man. Obviously he's married to one of the Bella twins. 2 young kids. Obviously I think he's based in Arizona. So it seems to be that he does have that kind of royalty where he can kind of commit to what he wants, and the company will back it. Like imagine you had someone like, just say for argument's sake, you had someone like some middle class superstar on the roster, and he turned around and said, Vince, I only want to do so many things and I don't want to go to the live events. Vince would fire him straight away. Like if it was Apollo Crews or someone, he'd probably fire him straight away. Where with Bryan, he seems to have that little say in the respect in the company. But you think New Japan Pro Wrestling is where he's going to end up?
I think 3 or 4 matches a year is what he's going to aim for.
Did he wrestle there back in the day?
2004, I believe. Yeah.
Was it just a brief stint, though? Was it?
Yeah, he'd be Bryan Danielson if we went back there.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Matt, obviously you're a massive Daniel Bryan fan, and we've seen all this stuff with Cesaro kind of coming into the pipeline now. Do you think it's the case of, look, Daniel Bryan's going to get a couple of more weeks where he'll probably kind of, wrestle Roman and then Cesaro will step in? Or do you reckon we have it all wrong and Daniel Bryan could possibly win that belt again?
Right. Well, now when because we know that if Daniel Bryan is going to be leaving the company, like when his contract goes up, they can't, just finish him with just one random match and then he's gone off. Like have like a match against Jey Uso on SmackDown. That would be his last match. They're going to end it with a big match for him. Maybe I can see him having a match with Roman Reigns, possibly Money in the Bank, because I feel like Money in the Bank is one of the big pay-per-views now. And then, Dan Bryan move on, go to New Japan. Because I would love to see him take on Omega, like him returning as the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. That would be, something. That would be something I think me and Phil would love to see. But I still feel like if Daniel Bryan is going to be leaving, they're going to try and use as much as they can of Daniel Bryan as they best they can in the main event picture. But as for Cesaro, because, I said before, I'm a huge supporter of Cesaro, and I just don't like how the fact that there was so many times before WWE would do something well with him, even in the mid-card, and they would just, toss him aside or just, do something else with him. So I hope they're going to do something with Cesaro with a good enough push. I said in the show last week, he's not yet ready to get, the world title yet, but maybe as Money in the Bank, he will become Mr. Money in the Bank, and he'll work his way up and showing that he can be world champion. So that's what I believe in Cesaro. That's what I believe in Daniel Bryan. So if Daniel Bryan is leaving, they're going to make use of him. But Cesaro, they need to focus on him as well. Slowly pushing him in the main event picture. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, obviously we have to switch to Raw, lads. Charlotte Flair's making quite the noise. She seems to be this badass where she's obviously kicking the living shit out of referees, and she seems to have this attitude since she came back. Elizabeth, what's your take on Charlotte Flair's return? Obviously, she's got this attitude. We know that she's clearly, she looks like everything's all right on camera, but there must be something going on behind the scenes as well. We're seeing all these rumors floating about that. Look, Vince wasn't happy with her with Mania and stuff. Do you think this new Charlotte Flair that's returned is good and it can go somewhere?
And to be honest, we all know Charlotte Flair works best as a heel, but I don't know about this new bully heel. I really don't know where it can go. because I said we've seen her as a heel before. I think she's kind of lost in translation a little bit. I have no idea where to fit her in. Even in a title picture, it still doesn't make sense. We all thought it was going to be historical Charlotte Flair. Let's just insert her anywhere because we know she's going to have a good match, and there's no doubt in her ability. But certainly, I feel she's a little bit in limbo at the moment. Now, I could be wrong, and there might be this huge plan, but there wouldn't be the fastest at unveiling them. So there could be, but I definitely think everything going on outside of the ring is certainly having an effect on what's happening to her inside the ring. And we all follow her, to get the scandal. But I think there's a lot of, this is going to sound awful to say, but I think we're a little bit blinded by love. I get that because if you see it, she had a back and forth on Twitter with Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Could you see... Thank you. Could you see Charlotte Flair 12 months ago defending herself on Twitter about her body image when she always is so positive about how she performs, how she works, how she trains? Everybody knows she's an absolute demon in the ring and one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
Why is she defending herself within a 12-month, say a year period compared to old Charlotte Flair to Dave Meltzer about her personal appearance on Twitter? What the fuck is that? That's not Charlotte Flair we know. And her fiance is constantly posting pictures of her to try and die it down. But to me as a fan, it's having the opposite effect. I'm like, Charlotte Flair doesn't have to prove her physique to me. She doesn't have to prove her teeth, her face, her tits. Nothing to me. Nothing. Because by not doing that, she speaks volumes to me as a fan. Yeah. So I don't understand why he has to constantly put her out there. I feel he's riding on her coattails a little bit.
Yeah, he's overstepped the mark. Like, we never have, I don't think we've ever seen Charlotte have a bad match. She is, to me, I'm not just saying it, guys, to me, and I've been watching wrestling for over 25, 26 years, and remember every match and every moment, but she, to me, she was destined, first of all, to be in it. When it comes, her dad's legacy is incredible, but her legacy is going to be even better. To me, she is the greatest wrestler of all time. And, I'm saying that now, right now, and I know she's probably got years left, but, I want to talk about Dave Meltzer because I'm glad you mentioned him right now. Clearly, I think the man's a prick, right? I would fucking, I'm not an aggressive man, but, I've encountered a lot of, so-called journalists over the years and stuff. I've been around them, a lot of them, and Meltzer to me is, he's not
he's a fanboy. He's a fanboy.
He is just, an absolute arsehole. To fucking go on social media and say stuff like that, and it's not the first time. I remember all the stuff with Paige.
Yeah.
Where he was critical of Paige and he was saying stuff when she was really down and out, Joe, first of all, look, what's your take on this whole Charlotte thing and what you think of Dave Meltzer? Because look, we all know he's an asshole,
Yeah. I have no time for him at all. He's just probably a sour old man out there. He's not getting as much gossip from WWE and he's getting all the attention from AEW from now on. He's fanboying them with him, so he'll slate WWE as quick as he can. So the minute he sees something bad, he'll jump on it. With regards to Charlotte, I'm not sure what WWE can do with her at this stage. They've done everything they can with her. She's done everything in the company. I know she's trying to get into the movie industry. She's trying to get into movies, so maybe she's taking time away and making some movies. I know she's doing some remake of Walking Tall or something.
That would be good stuff. Yeah, she has everything. You know what I mean? We all love Charlotte. And even her iconic entrances to her matches, to her even her mic skills are incredible. Her in-ring ability is incredible. You know what I mean? To be slating someone the way they do, it's fucking madness. And look, we're all on about this relationship she's in at the moment. You know what I mean? Hopefully it works out and stuff. We know she's got I know she was married before, and look, these things happen, but the public should really step away and not judge her on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's fucking mad. It's, as you say, I wasn't going to mention Dave Meltzer, but I'm glad now Elizabeth did because the man's a prick. We should just dedicate the show to slating that prick in general. An absolute arsehole. I'm actually angry now thinking about him. Phil, what's your take? Look, you've seen stuff in the past.
Yeah, like the thing with Charlotte, because I don't want to repeat myself, but like Charlotte was, if you go back to 2003 and Triple H formed Evolution, I think you can mirror that with Charlotte. With like a Chelsea Green, obviously she's gone now, but like Chelsea Green would have been perfect. If they just did that and then she just fought on like pay-per-views and had everyone else fighting on Raw, make her matches that bit special. Rather than have her fight Rhea Ripley 100 times on Raw or whatever.
But Phil, if you were the creator, like, so just say you're in the back and you're writing the stories and the storylines, right? What would you do with Charlotte? Would you be more of a guy that would, like, you know, imagine, like, you remember we had DX and DX had China. Would you could have put her into a formation?
I'd make one head of a faction to create new stars, because they haven't created women over Bailey, Becky, those 4 horsewomen. There's nobody else got a chance outside of those 4 horsewomen.
And we don't see enough fashions. Like, obviously we're seeing all this Aleister Black stuff, right? Which I'm going to come to. And all, like,
that was fantastic.
Just talk, Nikki Cross might be part of that fashion. Like, Matt, like, what's your take of the fashions? And you know, should Charlotte Flair, you know, do something different, or, you know, just continue on a storyline for the next 6 months?
I mean, I personally would like. I agree with Phil. I would like to see Charlotte Flair like in this fashion of, ideally, the best example I got is the 4 horsewomen. Yeah. I would love to see them coming into WWE and like taking over, similar to, of course, what the 4 horsemen did. But you know, with Charlotte Flair, Bailey, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. There's like so long I've been known so long since I've seen all them all together. Yeah. If they all come together somehow, not even as a proper stable, but like kind of separate, but they always keeping connections close. That would be actually something good that they could do with Charlotte Flair, and of course something better with Bailey, because I'm sorry, Gary, but I'm just not feeling the ding dong hello gimmick of hers. So.
I always feel the ding dong.
Yeah, you're right. Like, clearly, look, we're seeing the ladies' main event WrestleManias. Obviously, look, congratulations to Ronda Rousey. We're absolutely thrilled that she's having a baby. That's great news. We know she was trying hard, and thankfully it's going to happen. Becky obviously became a mother, and we don't know will Becky come back anytime soon.
Bro,
yeah. Do WWE need to recruit more female superstars, Phil? Because like we obviously have so many there, but they're not being used. You only have your 4 or 5 main characters. So you have Bailey, you have Sasha Banks, you know, you have Bianca Belair, obviously Charlotte. We don't know what's fucking happening with Charlotte. Asuka's always there. Like, but is it the case they should go after like more female stars? Because there's so many out there in other organizations. Not talking AEW, but like maybe going to Impact, get Deanna, try and lower some into the company.
I don't think Deanna would ever go back. She was treated so badly.
Yeah.
Like, she was treated so badly on NXT.
But money talks, you know. Like, it's look, Impact is massive. AEW is fucking huge. They're all massive.
Tessa Blanchard is the biggest free name out there, so I don't know where she's going to end up. Yeah.
Do we not have them already? We don't know what to do with them. Do we need to recruit more? Because we have them. Yeah, we have them, but we just don't want to do with them. And I honestly think Hunter is too fucking terrified for anybody to go up, because he sees what happens to them. Yeah. We have a lot of big stars that have been fucked into tag teams. A lot of our women have just been fucked into tag teams where there is no need for it. And Carmella, anybody know where she is? Do we need to put out some kind of an issue for her to see where the fuck she's gone? She's disappeared. What's that about? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Huh?
Her comeback was unreal.
Right? And then where is she now? They just don't know what to do with them if it doesn't fit a certain 3 or 4 different characters that they have. And if they have no creative input whatsoever, if they don't fit into that mold, it'll just be passed on to somebody else, and they're just left in limbo and purgatory because, you know, they didn't make it work. And I'm like, you can't make, you know, pig salad out of constant pig shit. You know, you can't. If you don't fit into that mold and you can't make it work, that's not always on the talent. It's not always on the performer. It's like, there's too many people set in their ways, as we know, regardless of this new management team they think is going to be great. You could be a new management member team in WWE. It means fuck all unless the boys pass it and agree it. So you can have a new management team, a new structure, all you fucking want, and get rid of who you want, but without change from the top down, or opinions, or prehistoric fucking how you view things. Unless that changes, doesn't fucking matter who's there.
Like it's like a 90% men-based company.
Yeah, but it's there's no
swinging them. Yeah.
Like in the creative team, how many women are on the creative team? I reckon it's two at most.
Yeah, it needs to change. Like it's just, first of all, there's nothing fucking worse when you have a tag team that's out of place, that they don't look the part, first of all. But like, I just think they're really like, obviously, look, they've done the right thing with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. I think that's fucking brilliant. Like they are the champions, right? 120% cannot fault that one bit. Let these girls go on and do their thing. Bayley's could have still doing her thing. Sasha Banks will keep attacking numerous people. She'll do her thing. Obviously, look, we know what's happening with Ronda. Becky, we don't know what's going to happen. But I just think they could bring in one or two more names. And cause a bit of controversy. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be fucking brilliant if they went to AEW and took the biggest female star and made a bit of noise. Like, she appears out of nowhere.
Britt Baker.
Yeah, just appears out of nowhere. Even Tay Conte or someone. And just appears out of nowhere and starts fucking attacking someone. You remember back in 2001, 2000, 2002, you'd be sitting and watching TV. Internet was rare back then, but you see the likes of DDP come out to a ring and be the Undertaker stalker, and you're like, fucking hell, this is mental. Like, and then, you know what I mean? You see someone come to the ring and attack someone. We don't really see that no more, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'd love if the lights went out for the next pay-per-view, and lo and behold, AEW's biggest female star leaves the company, goes to WWE, and boom, she's challenging fucking Bianca Belair.
Jordan Grace is rumored to be joining WWE.
But see, she'll go to NXT, and I respect that because NXT is huge. But I'd be a bigger SmackDown or Raw fan than NXT because do you know what I mean? I just don't stay up to watch NXT. I watch the highlights and I absolutely love it. But like, I think Elizabeth hit the nail on the head there when she said Triple H is absolutely fucking petrified to see stars go up to the main roster because they're not used, like the likes of Ricochet, Samoa Joe, even Bobby Roode. Like Bobby Roode.
The problem is if Adam Cole goes up and fails, then NXT is a failure because Triple H is using these guys as these guys are the next Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? They fucking are like Adam Cole to me is the equivalent to CM Punk. Yeah. He's got everything. Like, he's a guy that'll be chanting for 10 years. He's not even there. So it's fucking mad. You know what I mean? It's absolutely mad. So we've covered quite a bit of
the way they treated CM Punk, though, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
As good as he was, like, they still didn't know how to book him properly. Like, he booked himself most of the time.
It just pisses me off because like it's the fans can see how the company could be run. Like, obviously, look, we all can't get it right, but we see certain things, like, you know what I mean? Even bringing Mace and T-Bar back and they were unmasked, and Drew McIntyre, Braun. I don't mind Drew and Braun teaming together. Obviously, Damian Priest and The Miz, that's kind of good because it's back and forth. It's not kind of completely gone. Obviously, Sheamus is the champ. Asuka defeating Charlotte Flair. Obviously, Rhea Ripley got involved. I kind of like that, but it's just, I don't like, I miss the likes of Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo and all these guys that created fucking historic storylines. Because now we don't have them, and I know things have changed. I know, like, it's gone back to PG-12 ratings and all that kind of stuff, but
that doesn't mean you can't.
It's just fucking pathetic, you know what I mean?
I mean, I was like thinking was like, I think the biggest wrestling moment, big wrestling story moment that got people talking was in WCW when it revealed that Hulk Hogan was the third man.
Yeah.
I feel like when we're going to talk about, the women's division, WWE, I would love to see them do that, but with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch will make a huge comeback, and then all of a sudden she turns heel. That will get people talking. That will get people more invested in with the women in WWE with that big one moment. So I know that this is just me rambling. Like, oh, what if this happens, lads? But something like that will be to get people talking, get people more invested,
Yeah.
and hopefully creative won't feck it up in some way, like pull a Kevin Nash on the John Cena versus CM Punk rivalry.
They've just lost the ball. Like, what pisses me off, right? October 28th, I think it was 2018. We've seen Evolution.
Yeah.
Which was fucking massive, right? Now, they've done nothing since. Nothing. Why not bring Becky Lynch to the ring, say, and attack someone, right? And say, I'm going to take you with Evolution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not do the things are so predictable at the moment. So predictable. No,
Like,
We need groundbreaking. We're watching the same shit every week, and it's just been served up different ways. And you know, you can only skin a cat so many ways, but it's the same shit every week. We need something groundbreaking, something different. Loving Matt. I would love if Matt, she came out and unzipped her leather jacket and I had Becky Lynch's All Elite. I'd just be like, I would tune in for that. I'd be like, wow.
that's what we need to go back to I'm all for the Forbidden Door. Do you know what I mean? We need to see shit that's unexpected. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the invasion was mental. You see Mike Awesome fucking backstage hopping someone, and then, like, not that there should be an invasion, but there should be something there that's completely different to your usual bullshit that's going on the last couple of weeks.
You know, WWE, unless you're in a title picture, they don't know how to book you. Unless you have a title. If you're, like, they won't book the women unless they're in a title picture. They won't book them, you know, having just a feud without a belt. That's why they threw everybody in the tag team, because they didn't know what else to do with them.
Yeah.
And the same with the men's now. It's like they're just throwing people, like, there's 4 men's tag teams on SmackDown, and it's been the same cycle for the last 3 or 4 months of the same 4 boys. And the same with Raw. Like, they just, unless you have involved in a title picture, they have no idea what to do with you.
No, it's bollocks. It's
Remember
bollocks.
the days of Mr. Perfect with the Intercontinental title? That was prestigious, and like you would tune in to see him fighting for the Intercontinental title. Razor Ramon, that made them stars. It wasn't fucking them straight into the title picture at all. The main title picture, the Intercontinental, it was held with such regard, and when you had it, you meant something. You were somebody.
Yeah.
Who's the Intercontinental title at the moment?
Apollo, was it?
Thanks, there we go, right, Apollo. So I should know that off the bat, even though I'm massively invested in what Apollo's doing. Whether he has a title or not or nothing, there's not enough fanfare made about things like that. There's no fucking pompous anymore. There's no bragging. There's nothing like this. It's just shitty short stage segments that mean fuck all. Even with our GM, bring back Teddy Long. We need a fucking GM who's going to make matches and surprises and appearances and get us invested and interested again, and stop rehashing the same fucking crap.
They've lost the ball.
The general manager's old hat. They really do. Like,
They've lost the ball. I'm telling you. It's as you said, Teddy Long, bring back a general manager, Raw, SmackDown. Bring back This Is Bad News Barrett. Like, you know what I mean? They were all good segments, but look, they've completely lost the ball. Like, I love wrestling, and look, yeah, when we are younger, you know, we have more energy. We can stay up all night and fucking go to school next day. And I understand all that, but it's just they've really lost the ball. I'm not really enjoying it at the moment, and that's you know, I've gone completely off the ball with the show. I've not enjoyed it.
I haven't watched a full Raw in about 5 years or more.
Yeah, I've not enjoyed it. Like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I
was just going to say, I kind of rely on the highlights these days. I'm still waiting. Should I watch a full episode of Raw yet soon myself? Like, that's why
It's
I'm
a
not.
tough watch.
The last time I watched a full episode of Raw is when I was actually fucking there.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's true, like, you know what I mean, in New York. That's because, you know, we were there.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, lads. Yet again, a massive show. Everyone will be tuning into Impact Rebellion as well. Phil, you looking forward to that?
Awesome. Looking forward to move back.
It's going to be good. Yet again, lads, an honour as always. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Ireland. The weather's fantastic. Jur and Elizabeth are down in Cove. They've got it all down that direction. Matt, where are you at the moment? You're in the city, are you?
I am still down in lovely south of Cork and Youghal. So. Beautiful. You're there in beach as well. Myself and Phil are in the city, so we're a bit bollocks at the moment. We'll have to make our transport and get away in that direction. The beach is back there, so I'm just going to get out the door and just leave him. Like, well, that was great day at the beach, so I was happy.
I absolutely love it. We've covered a lot. A very debatable show. Mark, obviously, was a hot topic. Share the Flair. Obviously, we touched base on SmackDown and Raw. Obviously, we're talking about women's wrestling and the fact that they really need to get that fucking straight. We'll be back next week. A couple of surprises on the way as well, so do stay tuned. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day, and see you soon.
Cheers, lads.
Bye.